Who is the creator of Baby Einstein? Now, we're not talking about the parents that created the mastermind that the world knows. We're talking about that series for little kids, Baby Einstein, tremendously successful, and we're about to talk to her live. But her inspiration goes beyond that with a real life concern, something that's challenging her life, and her words of inspiration will surely touch us today. We are great to welcome Julie, the founder of Baby Einstein, and Dr. Borges as they talk about breast cancer. Let's welcome both ladies. Welcome.
It's great to be with you, Con.
Well, Julie, let's start with you. Let's talk about, in particular, the challenge that has changed your life.
I sure did. Yes, so 7 years ago, I was actually diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 1. Seemed to recover from that. And then unfortunately 3 years ago I was diagnosed a second time, and it was considered metastatic disease, which basically means that my breast cancer had spread beyond the breast tissue into my liver. Metastatic disease spreads into other parts of the body, and it's not a good sign. So considering what it all means, basically it's an incurable form of cancer, although it is treatable. And so I continue to undergo treatment. I'm currently in a really good place. I'm feeling great, optimistic, and yeah. So it's been a trying time, to say the least.
Julie, I just want you to know our thoughts and prayers will be continuously with you. When you heard that the cancer was back, what immediately went through your mind?
Well, just to hear it was back was, horrifying enough. I had had a double mastectomy 4 years before. I felt really confident that I had eradicated this cancer from my body. So when I heard it was back, it was devastating. But to hear it was back as a stage 4 diagnosis, when there is no stage 5, was especially difficult. And thank you for the prayers. I will take them. I take all the prayers I can get, and I do right now feel pretty much like a miracle, because I do feel great today. I have no evidence of disease in my body, and it's thanks to wonderful doctors like Dr. Borges that I've had this good fortune. So it's pretty great.
Well, Dr. Borges, you're certainly sitting by a woman of tremendous inspiration. What is our call to action today?
Well, we definitely want to raise awareness about metastatic breast cancer. Certainly there have been great strides in the treatment of breast cancer over the last decade and more, but there are many women in the United States facing this chronic and ongoing diagnosis in their life. We'd like to make everyone aware of a wonderful resource that is available. It is a website. It is thefacesofmbc.org. It is sponsored by Genentech, and if you visit the website this month and click on the video, $1 will be donated to the cause of metastatic breast cancer, which is incredibly important.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We encourage all women dealing with this disease or any stage of breast cancer to consider a clinical trial. Women enrolled on clinical trials often have the best outcomes, and it helps us learn more about the science and understand more and move the field forward.
You know, Julie, when you see the throngs of people that are out there raising money and awareness to beat breast cancer, how does that make you feel?
It's amazing. I mean, it's creating awareness for it is tremendously important. I would encourage people to donate directly to research organizations. The best way to find a cure is to continue to study this disease. So, making a direct donation is fantastic. I also, as you can see, have a book. It's a children's book called You Are the Best Medicine. And this book, 100% of our proceeds go to breast cancer research. It's a book that parents could use to discuss cancer and what it means with their children when they themselves are going through it. So hopefully that will also help provide support. And I can't stress enough what Dr. Borges said, which is anybody who visits the facesofmbc.org website can click on the video, and $1 will be directly donated by Genentech to help cure metastatic breast cancer.
You know, Julie, whatever challenges we are facing in life, given what you've been through, what advice would you give us?
Have hope, be optimistic. I try to remember this great quote that I heard once, every wall is a door. if you can use what you've learned to help somebody else, then you've done a great job. You know, you've done something. So I would just say, you know, live well, live optimistically, and help other people. It's all we can do to make this world a better place.
Well, Julie, those are certainly inspiring, encouraging, and words that we should all live by to help us through difficult times. But I'm curious, take us back to the beginning when you founded Baby Einstein. What was the inspiration?
It's amazing, isn't it? It still blows my mind. I literally was a stay-home mom. I had been a teacher. I stopped teaching to stay home with my daughter when she was a baby, and came up with this idea just based on, first of all, the idea that I didn't want to listen to Barney. Secondly, no offense, Barney, sorry. But I just thought, you know, why not expose kids to something really beautiful like classical music or poetry or art? And it hadn't been done before. And literally, like, did the video from my basement, and it went on to become something pretty enormous. And I have since sold the company to the Walt Disney Company and ventured into some other areas. But, you know, currently it's for me, it's really about staying well, staying healthy, and doing what I can to be in this good place.
Well, Julie, you certainly are an inspiration, and we've learned a lot from your courage. Thank you for joining us and sharing your story. God bless you. And Dr. Borges, thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
One thing's for sure, we all have to keep Julie Clark in our prayers. What a truly inspiring woman, and her words of courage are a treasure to all of us today. Now we're going to return here to Milan, and we're going to be talking about fashion. That's where all the headquarters of the biggest fashion houses are. You've heard the names: Prada, Gucci, Armani, Versace, Valentino. They're all here, and we're going to learn what the fall fashion is going to look like, so we can all look good and impress our friends when we come back. Thank you so much for watching. Are you tired of negative news? We are.
And that's why we're creating a movement.
By keeping it real.
With what you need to know. It's more than what's happening.
It's bringing hope back to our lives.
So go to contv.com and join our movement.